Good morning and welcome to Situation Today with Gulf Business, our platform to get all the key developments that are transforming the business landscape in the region. We have a really interesting guest today and I'm very excited to have him and welcome him to our studios. Yasser Abdul Malak, the chairman and CEO of Nestlé MENA is here. And he's going to share a lot of the insights that go into making this company the global, regional giant that it is. Thank you so much for joining us,
Thank
Yasser.
you, Nisha.
You know, Nestle is such an important part of our lives. As we've chatted before, it's part of, you go through the entire lifespan of a person, and at some point you've interacted, you've engaged with Nestle, and that makes it so special. So you have a remit which involves 19 countries, over 12,000 people under you. And this company has a heritage and a legacy of 125 years in this region. In your opinion, as a leader and at the helm that you are, can you tell us how this company has navigated its way through in the region? What are the lessons that you've learned?
Yeah, actually, if I want to narrow down 125 years in the region, 25 years for me in Nestle, mostly a big part in the region. So I've had the opportunity to work in Saudi Arabia, Dubai, several times. That's the third assignment in Dubai. Iran, Egypt. I've also had the opportunity to work in Turkey, Switzerland, South Africa. I would narrow this to the fact that we have to accept that disruption is a fact, but to disrupt or be disrupted is a choice. This is a choice we have to make every day, and that's been happening over time, and it will continue to happen. And actually, there are few things that will continue to change, but there are also things that are important, they don't change. What does not change for us at Nestle is our long-term perspective. So we continue to put quality as a number one criteria, community support to the community, being present, giving back. So these are important things that we continue to drive moving forward. You also, when you look at this region, it's unique in many ways. It's unique in its challenges, but also unique in its opportunities. It's not enough to only capture the opportunities, but it's also important that we understand that within each challenge, in fact, there are golden opportunities hidden deep inside the challenges. So it's important to understand and appreciate that a team, a leader, a brand will capture this opportunity during these challenges. I always tell my team that actually when there are challenges, the action bias is there, the readiness is there, speed, agility, decision-making are on top of the agenda. And I think that that has always helped us navigate and really identify the opportunities. What worries me more is the quiet times, is when crises are over, because our natural tendency is to become complacent as human beings. So my wish to my team is always, and to our listeners, is always to, if we could keep this button of crisis mindset on, to really keep this agility and decision making. So it's an important region for us. Youth plays a critical role in this region, and adapting and evolving with the trends and with what's happening in the region has played also a significant role in what we have done. Also keep in mind that Nestle is amongst our peers. We are the biggest investor in R&D, so innovation is key, and that also has helped us navigate and grow in this fascinating region.
Well, it's exciting to you, especially in terms of innovation. You know, a lot of things are changing. There are new trends, especially in food. People are consuming food differently. Health has become a very important concern. And keeping that innovation in mind, how has Nestle sort of leveraged this and delivered what the consumer wants?
Yeah, we always believe that we need to continue to be inspired by people. So that's inspired by our team everywhere, in every role, in every site. inspired by with our partners, communities, and so on, and inspired by consumers. So we continue to work to be close to consumers, understand what their pain points are, what the gain points are, what the needs are, and so on. So continue to be relevant and to evolve. You think about all the changes we're going through now. Since COVID, for example, e-commerce and ordering online has skyrocketed. Convenience has become more important, with also the fact that you have dual household incomes and both men and women are working and so on. But it's not convenience at any price. It's actually people are looking for no compromise in convenience. So it's not convenience only. It's a no compromise convenience. So you need to always think how we can facilitate consumers' life while still enjoying great food. People do not compromise on taste and quality, and these are also important that we keep thinking about them. Think of youth and the mobility, and we spoke about this in our interview. This is a unique region in the fact that almost 60% are below the age of 35 years old. This is unique. So people are on the go. So you need to think also how you are present where the youth is. For example, we're proud of our Nescafe ready-to-drink that we launched recently, and it's been a successful launch. So bringing a great brand that consumers know that they would consume at home or in a hotel or anywhere in a location, to now be on the go. This is the kind of innovation that we look into and that we work on.
Well, it's something to look forward to, and we really look forward to hearing more about that. You know, we're at the start of a new year. What can we expect from Nestlé MENA going forward throughout the year? Any plans, strategy that you have, because there's a lot of new direction. So if you could tell us how you aligned, and in brief, or as you know.
So the region with more than 500 million consumers and the vast opportunities, despite the challenges that we have here and there, is by design a growth region. So our mindset is growth. So we work a lot on what the future of food is going to be, what role our brands will play, how we can continue to play a significant role in people's lives, how we can retain the trust that consumers give us. We do not take this lightly. So innovation is key. We're going to have to continue to work on anticipating, reading some of the trends, but anticipating some that are not there. Think AI. What's that going to do? How will this change things? In food, as we are in food, think about the fact that today global is accessible to everybody. So you see a lot of fusion of cuisines.
Yes.
You see a lot of eating outdoors, going out and so on. But there is also the element of local touch. So yes, it can be influenced by global trends, but with a local twist and a local touch. Think about the growth in the future of smaller households, and the fact that cooking will evolve from a role our mother would do to a celebration that the family enjoys and spends time doing. So it has to move from a duty or a pride to the mother into a collaboration and a time well spent together. So all this, with what's happening around us, is something that we think about, and we always think, what can our brands do? How can our brands continue to play this significant role? health, longevity, awareness about health is at record high today compared to the past. So it's important also that we help the consumers in the journey, particularly after 50 and so on. So awareness and the importance of living healthier lives, not necessarily longer. We all would love to, but whatever years we have, to make sure that we make the most out of it and we enjoy it. So fitness and health will also play an important role. So we think about all this. And about strategy, we also continue to invest in the region. This is something we discussed. So we've invested north of $1.1 billion in capital in manufacturing and beyond. We will continue to invest in the region. We will continue to invest in the community. We will double down on investing in youth, capability building and so on, such as the Nestlé Academy we did in Saudi Arabia. And we will replicate whatever successful we have in one or two geographies across the 19 beautiful countries of the region.
I think this is exactly what we love about you, is your passion and focus, and also your passion to help youth and enable them to take control of their lives. I think when we spoke, that was very clear. What sort of advice would you give, young people, the youth that's looking to become entrepreneurs or who are looking to get advice on how to strengthen their careers and move, rapidly ahead with vision?
There's a lot that we can talk about. I'm the number one, regardless what you want to achieve, whether entrepreneur, corporate, whatever success you need to surround yourself with smarter people around you. You need to surround yourself with people you learn from when you engage. I think this is key and has helped me throughout my career, throughout my life. So that's an important one. Number two, you have to go all in. You can't be half-vested. You have to go all in. When you give it everything you have, good things will come your way. Now, that doesn't mean that there will not be ups and downs. And I think every one of us, I've reached this conclusion, it's clear for me. Every one of us will one day know or get to know what does it feel for things not to go your way. It's a difficult feeling. But I think there's great learnings there because actually you capture a lot of, you get to know yourself more. As we always say, calm seas don't make great sailors. So it's actually when things really go hard, your learnings are big. My message here is that when things don't work, and this will happen often, stand up again, capture the learnings, work on them, and move on, move forward. Another thing I want to say is inspiring others is not a luxury. It's actually an important element in leadership. Leaders set direction, but it's very important we take others with us on that journey. It is also important to get to fire this fire in the belly, to get it to turn on in your team and so on. So I make sure for example, in my case, I connect often with the whole organization so that we speak, we keep them informed. We say things in transparency of what we're gonna do and so on. And enjoy the journey. I think I was once asked, what would I tell the 20 years old Yasser? It was a question I was asked when I was visiting Nestlé Jordan team, and it was a great question. And I thought three things I would say to myself is one, calm down, it's going to be one very interesting journey. Because, you know, you're tense and you at that age and you don't know what's going to happen. What's my future going to be? Am I going to make it? I'm not. Number two, make more friends. Make more friends on the way. You will come to the realization that it's all about relationships. Mm-hmm. It's what we take at the end of it. Mm-hmm. It's the relationships. It's the depth of relationships we do over time. Third is take care of your health. Don't wait until you're 50 to start doing that, actually. Right. It's important to do that. So it's fascinating, and the region is fascinating. The talent in the region is close to none. Mm-hmm. So I believe this new generation will be taking us into a very bright future.
Well, that's so inspiring. And the important thing that one of the things that comes out is, great leadership advice as well. But your focus on fitness and the way, we were talking about it, about the work-life balance. And I'm sure our viewers and listeners would love to know, because it was really admirable how you've said you make time for everything, including your team. So if you could tell us a little about it, and, just as a parting note, it's very important that future leaders get inspired by this. And you're very right, you need to take care of your health. You need to make good friendships and good relationships. So if you could shed a little bit about how you do it.
Yeah, it's not easy, and it will take time to get to the harmony that we actually need in our life. I was reading once, a leader said, I run every morning for my team. Mm-hmm. Because if you think about it, it actually helps you to think clearer. Mm-hmm. You feel better about yourself, and it brings positivity internally, and it reflects externally. So what I do is I wake up early, and that's when I exercise, mm-hmm. Almost 6 times a week. And I make sure I see my children at least 1.5 hours before they sleep every day. So work doesn't finish, but you make a decision, like everything in life, that's it, I'm going to go now. And I spend this quality time with them. So I get in the morning to spend 15-20 minutes with them, hug, kiss before they go to school. And at night, we spend some quality time together. What is also important is when you're there, you're not only physically there, you're actually body, mind, and soul there. So you disconnect. Disconnecting is easy said, difficult to do, because with responsibilities, your brain is full of so many interesting challenges and stuff. But I think also that's something that you develop with time. Mm-hmm. So I have the ability, we were talking about the holiday before we started, to disconnect when I'm on holiday. Mm-hmm. Of course, you still get a few calls here and there, but that also helps overall. So when I'm with my team, I'm with my team. Mm-hmm. When I'm with the family, I'm there. And that's an ongoing quest, so we continue to learn. I'm still learning as we go. I ask also other great leaders how they do it. Mm-hmm. So you continue to kind of calibrate it to get to the right harmony, as I said.
Well, but like I said, always great advice from you. The other thing I remember you saying is you read, and then you also share these books with your team.
Yeah.
That's stuck in my mind. If you could name a couple of the books that you love, especially even if they're leadership or they're management books or regular books, what would you recommend to our viewers and listeners?
So there's a lot, and I do actually every year I share 4 or 5 books with the team. I want to tell you about a book that actually when I was reading on a flight, I was coming from Switzerland, and I was reading, I couldn't hold myself from crying. Mm-hmm. And a colleague of mine was sitting next to me and said, well, are you serious? It's Shoe Dog. Okay. And this is the story of Nike, the founder and maker. And at some point in the story, I don't want to, for the viewers who didn't read it, to break the news, but actually he goes through a personal challenge that you realize, oh my God, that's tough. he lost his son, and he says, so that's it, that's how it's gonna be, and so on. So that was quite emotional, but it's much more than this, the book. It's a fascinating story about resilience and leadership and determination. A Blue Ocean Strategy is one of my favorite, and that talks about the fact that in innovation, disruption, and how you do it, and how you think about it, and the process. From Good to Great is an all-timer book. So there are quite Who Moved My Cheese? I recommend it to everybody in my family.
Right.
Because, that's also about this change and the fact that change is imminent. Accept it, embrace it, and drive it rather than be driven by it. So fascinating.
Well, thank you so much. There's a lot of lessons that our viewers and listeners will get from our conversation, and I'd like to thank you so much for joining us today. Look forward to having you over at the Motivate Studios to have more such discussions in the future.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Nisha, to you, and I enjoyed this as well, and I look forward. Thank you.
Indeed.
Thank
Have a good year.
You too.
And my best to the Nestlé team.
Thank you, and to you too. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. For more news about the region, go to gulfbusiness.com. Thank you again.